Well, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has called on security agencies to redouble their efforts to rescue the over 200 abducted school children in Kuriga and the 61 kidnapped residents of Buddha community in Kajuru General area of Kaduna State. She made the appeal during a groundbreaking ceremony at Ahmad Medicals in Kaduna.
Here in Kaduna, and I feel a little bit sad, the Deputy Governor is here, because the people in Buddha and Kariga communities, the parents, the husbands, the wives, who are in a state of uncertainty now, waiting to receive their loved ones. I also want us to remember them. Can we stand up for a moment to remember them, please? Thank you very much. I have to thank our security forces for what they are doing, but also request that they do more and do faster to help us recover those who have been abducted.
Well, we're joined now live from Kaduna by Islamic Cleric Sheik Ahmad Gumi. Sheik, good to see you and thanks for your time. Yes. And we appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Let's start by asking about your interest in helping the country get to the bottom of this.
Yes. First of all, what's happening now, especially we are seeing that these bandits are getting more and more vicious. Before they don't do what they do now, they are heading to softer targets, as the military man has said. We can only attribute that to the kinetic approach, which is overemphasized. When we hear even politicians talking about the non-kinetic, but nothing is done about to overcome these people. Let me give you an example. Now we are fighting bandits. They are anonymous. They are phantom. How can you fight somebody you don't even know? We said, let's go in, let's know them, let's map them out. Map them means know who they are, where they belong, and what are. All this intelligent information is virtually not there. How can you know somebody from satellites, from drones? And the harsh, high-handed approach to the matter is what is making it worse. Now they are kidnapping small children and they are threatening death, which they don't do before. So I think what you need to do is really go back to the drawing board and truly be non-kinetic.
Sheik Gumi, it's not the first time that you'd be volunteering yourself, to intervene in getting abducted persons, including students, back to their families. A lot of people would actually say, look, this whole idea of negotiating with them seems to be counterproductive, and that's why they're gaining more and more confidence and, go into the schools and abduct as many as 200 students. Now you say, look, how do you deal with people that are unknown largely? How do you yourself, how do you gain access to those people to the extent that you're able to negotiate with them? And what gives you the confidence that when you step in, they will actually, let these abductees go? When the victims of the train attack, a committee was set by the military then in the former government, and they were able to contact them. The same way, journalists have been able to contact them. They are not there, difficult to contact, but what you don't know is they are foot soldiers. You need a program, just like you have for the Niger Delta, a program which will bring them out of their forest. We're trying with the premise of educating them, giving them health care, giving them peaceful life. This is how you entice people to avoid violence and militancy. But when you continue dropping bombs, in fact petrol bombs, destroying roggers, killing children and women, so they will find no sympathy and empathy on our own children. This is it. An eye for an eye. This is what is happening. So we have to change our tactics. We have to change our style. What we have been doing has not been productive, but what we think is if we can have a channel where we can have a dialogue with them and understand them and promise them what we can do, and I think that is a better way, just the way that so many people were released. I could remember the forestry students with negotiation, they freed a lot. The trained victims were freed. The greenfield victims in the end were freed. Although some still demand money because you can have rascals and everything, but the thing is turning into something else. We are turning them into monsters, more monstrous as what they are. They are ignorant, they don't have direction, they don't have leadership, they don't have empathy now because of the way we treat them too. We don't care when we bomb them, we don't care about the children and women, we don't care about innocent. In fact, this student bury incident is just a tip of an iceberg of what has been happening in the bush. Until when we change our tactics and allow people who know. These politicians, I'm tired of them. And also the military, I was in the military myself, but I don't think there's a military solution. In fact, I think it's humiliating military to think that military should take care of civilian insurgency. What we need is a very good detective work, very good policing, very good social programs. These are it. Leave our military off this issue. Our military, they know fire for fire. It's a question of firepower. And these people don't even have that firepower. They hide behind civilians and do whatever they do. So let us not humiliate and disgrace our military. This is not their job. Our job, this is the job of politicians, this is the job of the police, this is the job of the intelligence, so that we can see how we can come and mobilize ourselves to see how we can circumvent these people. It's very easy. From our estimation and statistics, we don't think there are more than 100,000 people in the bush, in the forest, holding on our jugular vein. We can do it, but not by kinetic means, by ways in which they can feel safe, as we want to be safe too.
Okay, Sheik Gumi, you've always spoken about helping out. Let's go back to the issues now. These children need to be reunited with their families. Talk of ransom, talk of non-kinetic, and some of the key things you've spoken about. To start with, have you reached out officially to the government of Kaduna State or to the federal government to see how you can wade in? Is the government buying in on your suggestion to help?
Reach out to anybody. From my past experience with the former regime, I think they are bent on kinetics, something we know they can only compound the issue. So I have not reached out to anybody, but I think I am available for anybody. And let me tell you, the government knows what is right to do. In fact, just ask them, how did they get the trained victims out in the end? They know. They have a committee of retired generals, experts in academia who do the negotiations. I don't know why. I just don't want negotiation. In fact, I believe no ransom should be paid. I believe that. But engage these people, give them hope. And not only this children case, but be holistic. There are so many people. And this war, and I like when I had one of the military persons saying it's turning into a war. I'm so sad to see that they are realizing now it is turning into a war. It has been a war since. It has been an ethnic war, it has been class war, it has been everything. It is a war. It's not just more than criminality. So we have to accept that. If we can see Israel and Hamas are sitting down to exchange prisoners, I don't see why we cannot negotiate. If America can negotiate with Taliban, I don't see why we cannot negotiate. They cannot impose on us their own ideas when they, behind the door, they also negotiate with this terrorist.
Now, speaking of negotiating and ransom payment, the president has said he will not pay any ransom, not a dime will go to bandits in the name of ransom. Does that complicate the idea of trying to look for ways to safely get these abductees back?
No, I think I support that the government should not pay anybody. But why I think the government should dialogue. Come, sit down. You are asking for this money. Why? Why can't you do this? What do you want? In the first place, why are you fighting? When the government start to engage them, I think from my knowledge about their psychology, is that amount they are putting is just bargaining. They want to have a big bargaining power. when the money is very high. Otherwise, I don't think in their wildest dream they would think government will give them that money.
Okay, we'll take a short breather and return quickly. Stay with us. Welcome back. Before we went on that break, we were speaking with Islamic Cleric. We've re-established contact with him. Thank you so much for staying with us and your patience. Like I asked you earlier before we went on that break, whether there is a political undertone to this resurgence in attacks, especially the abduction of students from schools. Is it an attempt to frustrate the government of Bola Tinubu?
No, impossible. It's not like that. There's no any political undertones to it. In fact, everybody is suffering from this. Everybody, irrespective of their party, irrespective of their region, religion, and sects. Everybody is a victim. We should know that we are fighting a very tiny group of people that have been neglected and they have been oppressed, and we are coming to put all our weight to fight them. So they felt threatened. The only way they can hurt us is through attacking soft targets. This is what we understand. So if we can understand their psychology and their complaints, we can go in. We know channels which the government knows also. They have done so many negotiating with them and see how we can address their grievances, and also it has to be holistic, not only in Kaduna State, in Zamfara, Katsina State, or Niger State. We all gather them together, and they are ready to broker peace, as they said, and I think we should make that a try.
And Sheik, at this point, before I let you go, do we really know who these people are and what they do want? Yes,
the government and everybody knows their leader. In fact, there's a book, I Am a Bandit, by one Murtala, an academician. He listed more than 160 bandit leaders. We know their leaders by their names, but you don't know their foot soldiers. You don't know them, all of them. So you just know their leaders. You don't know the foot soldiers. So if you don't know the foot soldiers, how can you be fighting? They can just come in as civilians into the town and go out as and then fight you back. We need to look at this seriously. It's more than just meeting in Abuja. It's more than that. We have to drop to the field locally and see how things can be moved. And one thing, what I realized, the government is not ready to spend money on non-kinetic, but it's ready to spend trillions and trillions on the kinetic aspect. And you know who benefits from that? Non-kinetic is the victim, the victims and the bandits that will benefit from the social program by building schools, building hospitals. But when you put money in the military, it is our generals, unfortunately, to say that that benefit.
So, and you haven't actually given me answer to the other one, the demands. What do they want?
No, I don't know what they want. I think they're just putting a figure just so that there will be negotiation and talk with them. But I don't know what they want. But I don't think government should give them any dime myself.
So are you ready to go out and help if that request is passed on to you from the government?
Oh, yeah. This is a national duty, and it's a religious duty too. We can't be sleeping well on our beds when our children are there in the bush. We don't know the outcome of whatever it is. Small children, they don't know, they are innocent. And it's very unfortunate that we can allow these things to pester and even become more and more dangerous without taking the right steps.
All right, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi is an Islamic cleric. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight tonight.